Oh, there we go. Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar, joined alongside J Dog.
Mike, we're going to see each other this week. That's a big deal for us.
We are. It's a lot. Jeremy sent me a text. He's like, "Are you sure you want to do a pod and see me this week?" So that's what's happening. It's a lot.
Yeah, I'm glad you're on the same page. It's a little much. We're going to go to my favorite place in La Jolla if anyone's around. Should we tell them the name? George's?
No,
let's
Cove? Yeah,
we don't tell them?
Right. No, it's all
we
right.
don't tell them what day, but we're going one day. It's my favorite place in La Jolla. If you're ever in La Jolla, San Diego area, George's on the water. Mike and his new wife are going to experience it.
Are you like a local now? Do you know like a guy at the bar? Like, what up, Jeremy?
Well, I'm certainly not paying California taxes, so I'm not a local, and don't ever call me that again. A few people know me around, the sandwich lady, the yoga person. That a few people are starting to recognize me, so it's good.
Nice. So you're gonna stay there? You're gonna have like a 6 months on, 6 months off, so you can claim residence somewhere else, so you don't have to pay
5
taxes?
months and 28 days here, and then 6 months, 2 days elsewhere. That's
okay. I like the
if this is just speculative. None of this is factual.
Yeah, of course. Yes. We don't want the IRS listening.
Mike,
right.
I want to ask. You went 5-0 in your picks last time we met, and that was great. And it's really hard to do. I just wanted to see how you followed it up this weekend.
It was a rough week. It was not a good week. We went 0-5. Now,
oh my God.
Our reasoning is, so the picks that I might have talked about on the podcast might have gone 4-1, but we changed our picks because we talked on Friday, then we talk on Saturday, and we get nervous. Like, you know what? That's a bad move. So we talked ourselves out of good picks. So this week we said, let's just talk on Tuesday, and then we'll talk again on Saturday so we don't get too many crazy ideas because our picks were good. So we went 0-5. We're still tied for second. We're still looking good.
Okay.
It was a
second out of like 4.
Second out of 12. So it's not bad.
Okay.
We're that 5-0 really helped us. It was a tough weekend. When you're losing everything, it's not fun to watch football. It's like you're forced to watch it. Like, damn, what's happening to the Detroit Lions? They can't score a goddamn touchdown. I couldn't believe it. It was miserable.
Yeah, this football season's been miserable for me for a lot of reasons. As a Dolphins fan, as a fantasy football player, for the small amount of sports betting I do, it's just been like things are confusing. Things don't make sense a lot of the way. And it really makes me mad how good Justin Herbert is. That's the thing that sticks with me. That makes me just really sad.
So good. Do you want to do a quick Scandal City? Because I feel like this is the biggest story of the week. I know what you know. I don't have the iPad. We can just talk about it. The Urban Meyer thing. The Urban Meyer video came out right after. This dude loves college. I don't even know why he went to the NFL. In a college bar, hanging out back in his home state, hanging out at a bar, just chilling. It was, at first when I saw it, what day did it come out? Like Friday or Saturday, something like that, this video?
Yeah, over the weekend. Because remember, they played the Bengals on Thursday night. We've been talking about that shitty slate, and they were in Cincinnati, and he didn't fly home with the team. He stayed to hang out with the
so I didn't know the whole team flew home.
Yeah, which apparently is a big deal, and it seems like it's a big deal to you. And I would have thought, well, you play Thursday, you don't play again for like 10 days until the following Sunday, so maybe it's okay to take a few days. But around the NFL, guys were saying they have never heard of a coach not flying back with the team. Like, no one has ever heard of this before.
It seems out of place. Like, you're the leader. You are the head coach. And now maybe if he was like an assistant or something like that, like, I'm just going to stay with my family. Like, they live here. I'm going to stay here for a day. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Doesn't make any damn sense that he stayed and partied and his wife was at home with the babies, babysitting. I love the locker room does not trust him anymore. They're like laughing at him. Like, sure, you're apologizing. The owner doesn't want him. Now it's like, is he the coach in line to be fired first?
There's a lot going on here. So they're 0-4, and he seems disinterested in the job even before he was videoed with the young blonde girl at the college bar after he didn't fly home with the team. So all of that to the side, the team is bad. He seems disinterested. There's rumors about the USC job. Anyone who lives in LA knows the weather's better in LA than anywhere else, even Jacksonville. So he should be in California instead of Jackson. It's not great. Jack's Beach is great. We've done shows from there in the past year. That's part of the Nomad tour. That's not Jacksonville. Urban Meyer, he's just, you can't act like he's been acting. The second video came out. I don't know if you saw this, but it looks like he's got a little more hand motions
Yeah.
in than we first saw on the first video.
Yeah.
This is like a Zapruder film, like the JFK second angle type of thing that
Mhm.
came out. We're all waiting for that third angle that could
And
really nail him.
What about that like Instagram screenshot of like a story? It's like, who is this guy? He keeps flirting with me. Like, what?
Yeah,
What was
it's
going
bad.
through his mind? It's weird because
Does he want to be fired? He's been married 37 years. He just had that reporter in his house, and we saw the memes, like the coffee table of all the pictures. You saw that, and he's got like 50 pictures crammed on one table. Like, he's a big family guy. Maybe he's trying too hard because he's been doing this for a while. We don't know, but it's not working out for many, many reasons.
So do you think he will be the first coach fired out of everybody else? Even who's the new coach in Detroit? He's not going to get fired. Atlanta's head coach won't get fired.
Yeah, no, he's new. The new guys normally don't. Yeah, Urban Meyer's out. He's going to be out at some point soon, and I think they can fire him for cause, or maybe he'll resign because he already lost the locker room. But I think it's a big difference, NFL players and college players, because he's been kind of controlling the college crowd for his whole life. And Nick Saban found this out too. He went to the Dolphins and quickly went to Alabama and quickly reasserted himself as the best ever in college. And some guys just aren't meant to lead men. They're meant to lead boys and young people. And these college coaches, they have this weird power trip where they just feel like they can do what they want and portray themselves in a way that everyone must listen to me. And then you walk into an NFL locker room and you have these guys who are making millions of dollars more than you. They are stronger than you. They are actually smarter than you for the first time because they're not in college anymore. And it's very clear to see how they lose an NFL locker room. And he deserves to lose his Jaguars locker room. And it's not going to end well. And it's just it's so crazy because like the Jags have been bad for a while. We talked about that recently. And then they get the first pick. They get Trevor Lawrence. They recruit Urban Meyer. And things are finally looking better, yet they're the same old Jags. And I feel that way in a way with the Dolphins where, they're rebuilding with all the draft picks. They got Brian Flores. They got Tua. And you look at it and they're 1-3 and they look like the worst team in the league. And it's like some franchises just aren't meant to be good, I guess.
But is it that the franchises are trying so hard? They're like, we have this pick. We need to use it. I always wonder, like, who are the scouts? Who are telling the head coaches? Because you don't think the head coaches are like flying out, looking at them. They're getting scouting reports, looking at the teams, looking at the players. What were they doing? Like, Tua, didn't he just come off a huge injury when they drafted him in Miami, right? Like a big hip injury.
That's why we didn't judge him last year. That's why we waited for this year.
I know. So, but it's just wild because Herbert was still there, right?
Yeah. He went to pick afterwards to the Chargers.
Yeah. So it's just like, what is happening with teams? It's like, this is a shot in dark. It's like, even you said, I'm sure we have like video evidence of you saying like, if he's good, it's going to, you guys are going to go to the Super Bowl. Like that's how you have to kind of play it. But I guess in football, it's not all or nothing. And I think you're realizing that even with like Belichick, just his mindset and the process of how he determines like, look, we signed Cam Newton. Guess what? He's not working out. I'm going to kick him out of the locker room so then Mac Jones can take over. And he understands the process. So it's weird how a different team is so different. Like every culture is so different in every football team that you want them all to kind of be the same. It's like, why isn't everybody like Bill Belichick, like running a tight ship and making sure everybody's like doing this, this, and this? Then you got Urban Meyer out here like, you guys go home. I'm going to stay here, get a few drinks with the ladies. Like, what's happening?
You look at the Belichick thing, though. I mean, that's not like one size doesn't fit all because he lost Tom Brady. He lost Gronk. And I know he won the titles, but now you look at it and now there's teams in a better situation than the Patriots. Patriots had a great defensive game plan against Brady. They still couldn't beat him.
I know, but I'm just saying like, yeah, he's allowed to have one down year, but Tom Brady should have retired. I don't think Belichick planned on Tom Brady staying here for like his whole lifetime in playing in
But isn't that on Belichick not having those conversations? Because Brady knew he was going to play till he's 45 or 50. That's been his plan for a while. So why didn't Belichick factor?
But at some point it becomes the money, right? Like if you were with a company for 40 years, or let's say 25 years you were with a company, you'd expect them to pay you a lot, but you could go over to a new company, a new or brand new one. They just want talent. You probably get paid double or triple what you're getting paid. You're like, I'm just going to go do that. Like it's ending my career. I got 2 years left, It could work in many situations.
Well, Kraft would have always paid Brady. I think that's a little different. As far as revisionist history, and we can talk about that. We can do a whole show. We maybe
don't cry. I know.
Can we call it that?
Sure. Yeah. No, go for it.
In college at Oregon, Justin Herbert was okay. Like, he was just okay. He was a scrambling quarterback. He never threw the ball like he's doing for the Chargers. Apparently, Oregon's offensive coordinator at the time, and you would have never known except looking back on it now. Apparently, he got fired after Justin Herbert went to the NFL. He's now a head coach in college football, and he hasn't won a game in those 2 years that Justin Herbert's been in the NFL as a head coach. So his offensive coordinator is now like 0-20 in college football. And these are things you don't know. Like, I don't know as a fan. I don't know if the Dolphins GM knows when you're thinking about, well, Justin Herbert hasn't been in his true self because his coordinator sucks. Like, we don't know these things. And it's easy to go back in time and say, like, Tom Brady should have been better than a 6th-round pick. The Dolphins should have taken Herbert over Tua. The Bengals at this point should have taken Herbert over Joe Burrow even. I mean, there's things that you can keep saying about it. The draft is a fickle bitch when it comes to the Dolphins.
Does it ultimately come down to literally the simplest thing is just understanding the playbook, right? That's all it comes down to. It seems like to me, like if you're confident in the playbook and you understand the plays, you're then confident in the pocket because you understand where the ball needs to go. It's like, okay, we got a slot guy over here. We got somebody going deep. We got all these different things, but I know what's happening. And I think with a lot of players, like it looks like Mac Jones understands the offense enough and he looks confident.
He played well.
When you're unsure of what's going to happen, it's unscripted. You're like, oh shit, what am I supposed to do here? Am I supposed to go over here? I'm supposed to go over here. And I think that's what you see with, I don't know if it's intelligence. I don't know. Don't they do a test for the quarterbacks when they come in? What's that test called?
The Wonderlic? I don't know how much that matters.
Well, I just, then they should do a different ones. Like, read me this playbook. You got a week to study it. I'm going to throw out random things to you. And you're going to tell me what these plays are. Because that's all it comes down to.
In Tua's case, it's size and health. And we're now learning the guy can't take a hit because he couldn't in college. And then he gets to the NFL and you get broken ribs on like your first tough hit of the year. Like, that's not sustainable. You can't be paid like a franchise quarterback and be counted on when you can't stay on the field. And now we're thinking he's small. He's going to get hurt a lot. Well, don't invest in a quarterback so high if that's the case. You can take a quarterback in the 6th round who might be small and get hurt a lot. You can't do it in the 1st round because it's not worth it. And these are things that team should know and should include in their grading scale as well.
So are you, because I mean, we talk about Desean Watson every week, but it seems like there's like 5 different teams now. It's like New Orleans. Is it San Francisco? Is it Philly?
I didn't hear New Orleans. Miami? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I heard New Orleans. I read a story. It could be New Orleans. I could
so
see
they're sour
right?
on Jameis. I said a few weeks ago, you can go back and listen. I'm out on Jameis. Okay. I did say that. And they're not looking great.
He's not looking good, but I think he's competent.
Sputtering.
Yeah, he's confident. Competent
Did the
enough.
Giants win that game against the Saints?
They did. Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
It was. Listen, it could be the Saints defense too. Who knows? Maybe Danny Dimes is firing up. All right. What do you want to? I got some bullshit or believe. What do you want to do?
I have one more Scandal City before we move on. This is just fun to pile on because people are piling on me. I don't have a quarterback on my team, so let me pile on a different franchise. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Last year, they were 11-0. Since that day, they're 2-8. You can't go 2-8 and not have a head coach fired or a quarterback change or something going on. So why are the Steelers any different? Why is Tomlin allowed to keep it going? Why is Big Ben allowed to run on the field every Sunday? Why are we doing the same thing when it's clearly not working? Why is Ben out there? Shouldn't he just walk away and retire right now? They are a sad story. They're 1-3. You can't throw the ball down the field. Their offense is anemic. This is a scandal in Pittsburgh that's not going to go away. Our mutual friend knows it. And they're talking about like, I got a text this week from a Steeler fan. He goes, hey, you see Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin kind of smiling at each other?
I saw that. I saw those winks. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Aaron Rodgers isn't going to the Steelers. He's not going to replace Big Ben. That's not how this works. And so just get out of your little hole that you're in as Steeler fans and wake up to the real world that it's going to be a lot of years of misery. You're not going to go from one goat to the next goat, and it's going to be ugly and scandalous, and your head coach is probably going to get caught up in the wash and have to leave too.
It's not looking good. They're not performing well. What was all the hype? Like Big Ben, like getting in shape, best shape he's ever, losing weight. He's here. He's ready to play, but it doesn't look like it. It literally does not look like he trained at all. It's kind of like, what's going on? Where do I throw the ball? And they're just like handing it off, running the ball, but they're not going anywhere with it. I don't know what's happening. It's very frustrating.
No hype is better. Just be quiet on the hype train. Like if I've been preparing a lot all week for a show, I'm not going to tell you that. I'm just going to show up and perform. And maybe you'll say, hey, good preparation. And maybe you won't notice at all. But at least I didn't hype myself up. And maybe in the Steelers revisionist history, they should go back and tell Ben's offseason to keep his mouth shut.
set the expectations low, and then everything will be great, right?
Yeah, then overperform. It's great.
Yeah. All right, I got bullshit or believe. I really like this one. Bullshit or believe, did the Chargers pull a fast one on the Raiders on Monday night? There's a quote from John Gruden. So Monday night in LA, I've never experienced this here. Lightning and thunderstorms and rain. Okay.
Mike, I had the same weather in San Diego. It was the whole coast. I was experiencing it too.
It was wild. A lot of lightning. You don't get it a lot here. Erin was scared. She's from California. She doesn't even know what rain is. People get scared.
That's funny to me.
So lightning, thunderstorm, they delayed the game. And this is what John Gruden said. He said, I've never had an indoor stadium with a lightning delay, he said. And he's like, no, I'm not an engineer. I have no idea. And I've never heard of that. I thought it was a joke. That's what he said.
I mean, he's right. I mean, it's shocking that you would build a stadium for what, $5 billion and make it as big and beautiful and as supposedly weatherproof. Yeah. Like it's hosting the Super Bowl. The Olympic opening ceremony is going to be there. It does rain like we experience here in LA. And you know what I'm thinking of right now is I went to a Super Bowl party at your house in LA, obviously in February around the Super Bowl. And it rained. It was a rainy day and we had to move the party inside and people were crammed up inside in the pre-COVID era. So that was a thing. And so it could rain in February during the Super Bowl is what I'm saying. I'm surprised they built the stadium like this. I'm not giving John Gruden any IQ points here, but I do agree with it.
Well, they say that it was, I was watching it live and they're like, oh yeah, the sides are open. So like air flows through. So that means we got to shut it down. So like New York shut it down. I don't know what was happening. It was very weird. It's like 50 minutes of they're just like throwing it back and forth. Like what's going on outside? Very awkward Monday Night Football.
You know, it's weird. I always miss the beginning of NFL games here on the West Coast because they start so early. Like the primetime game, they start at 5:15. Like, we're doing things. We're living life at 5:15.
I love it. I love that they're on and then they're done at like 8:30. It's perfect timing. All right, here's another fun one. Bullshit or believe, a former NFL scout believes Trey Lance will get Kyle Shanahan fired.
That's too soon to say that he would get him fired. I mean, the guy has only been a goal line quarterback so far until Jimmy G got hurt in that last game. I didn't watch him play specifically, so I don't know, but did you?
He didn't look good. Did not look good. He was scrambling. It was like he forgot how to throw the football. But he was throwing it occasionally, but it was first decision, let me run out of this pocket. He does not look good. And that's why Seahawks won.
Why are we firing guys over the rookie quarterback's first appearance? Like, let him start a game. Trey Lance has 0 starts. And Jimmy G, it's not like he's going to be waiting to get back to save the 49ers franchise. Like, people are not happy with Jimmy G. If anything, you can wonder, remember that whole time the Niners said they were taking Mac Jones? Why didn't they? Why didn't they just stick with Mac Jones, who looks pretty good? I think Trey Lance could be good. We don't know. He played at North Dakota State. He played against competition that went on to be, contractors and plumbers after they played college football. So the idea that we're judging him now, give him a little time to play against NFL players before we do that.
Did you see that quote about Tom Brady, how he wanted to end his career in San Francisco?
What was the quote? No.
It was like I don't know, it was like somebody was on a podcast and like, oh yeah, I think he wanted to end his career in San Francisco. I think that's where he wanted to go. Because there was rumblings about that.
They were interested in him when the Bucs made the move, but they didn't offer the contract for whatever reason. They were tied to Jimmy G for some reason.
Well, they paid Jimmy G a lot of money. So it'd be kind of weird. And they can't like trade back. Like, here, take Garoppolo. We'll take
the Rams taught us something with Jared Goff. You can always get out of a bad quarterback contract. There's always a way. And they did it. And
God, he's looking so bad.
I have a bullshit or believe as well.
All right, give it to me. Bullshit
or believe. Is Josh Gordon relevant? So he's on the Chiefs offense now. He hasn't caught a touchdown in like 4 years or something in the NFL.
No, he's always off and on.
He always comes back and then he gets like suspended again and leaves. He's never been fantasy relevant when he comes back. So people are kind of making a big deal about him on the Chiefs because it is the Chiefs. But like, I'm a McCole Hardman guy, and I've had that guy for years as a number 2 on the Chiefs. He never does anything. I don't think Josh Gordon is going to be relevant at all.
I think it's just the name is enough to bring people in. He's probably talented. It's like Antonio Brown. It's like Antonio Brown is so talented now that he like shut up and just is playing football. He's a great talent, but I think we forget how good they are when you're like doing all this off-field shit and getting kicked out and doing all this. So I think he'll be good. He's talented, right? He can catch balls. He was great. Flash Gordon, right?
Is he still today, presently? That we don't know, and we shouldn't assume. I don't think he makes much of an impact on that offense. The Chiefs are 2-2, but they're okay. They'll be okay.
I didn't think Antonio Brown was going to do much on the Bucs, but he's playing. He's doing stuff.
I didn't either. Did you know since they use the stat on Sunday Night Football. Since Brown joined the Bucs, he has the most targets on that team, more than Evans and Godwin, which it's amazing with Brady. It's such a familiarity thing. It's not about like who's the best, because obviously like you would think Godwin and Evans have better physical tools, but Brown's is
yeah. But did you watch that Bucs game? Like Evans couldn't catch a ball to save his life. Keeps dropping balls left and right.
Dropping a lot this year.
Yeah,
he's really just a red zone guy at this point. Kind of a weird career trajectory.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be better. He's just kind of.
Godwin would be better too.
They're just there. Fantasy's not doing good for me. Literally, my whole team's on IR. Pisses me off.
Good thing you make money betting going 0-5.
Yeah, it's good. Do you want to go the best bets? I got best bets.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. 0-5 last week. We're going to start out hot. I was going to bet Thursday night game, but I decided not to. But I will say I did put just order some drinks. Jeremy's getting drink orders at his Airbnb here.
Yeah, there's a guy here asking questions. It's okay. Continue.
I'm betting Seahawks money line Thursday night. That's just a side bet. That's not part of my best bets, but I am betting Seahawks money line Thursday night. I think it'll be a good game.
I think it's a great game, and it's on Fox. So this is what we've been talking about. We finally got the good games on Thursday night. We're recording on a Wednesday, so we can talk about the Thursday game. You made us record early so we could talk about the Thursday night game.
Yeah, and we'll be at dinner tomorrow night.
Money line against the Rams, and I don't like it because Matthew Stafford, he's been on a great run. I know he lost last week, but I trust the Rams.
I trust the mojo of Russell coming back. They're going to get it together. I think this is they have to win this game. They can't lose to all these divisional players. They got to win this. So, all right, I'm starting right away. I'm starting really hot here. I'm going New York Giants +7 against the Cowboys. Divisional dog. They're in Dallas. They're playing. Danny Dimes lit it up last week. Got to win. I think these games are always really tight, and getting 7 points, I feel like this is an easy win. Like they could lose by a field goal.
It's in Dallas?
In Dallas.
Ooh, that's tough. Dak and the Cowboys, they look like a real Super Bowl contender, and I'm saying it because you won't. And for you to bet against them is very much who you are, Mike. And I understand that your bias is coming through, but just remember, Daniel Jones is a mirage. The Giants' offense is a mirage, and it's not what they were against New Orleans. We're not going to see them score 30 points again. So if you think that it's going to be like a 20-14 game, sure. That's but if you think it's going to be 37-31, you're probably going to lose your money.
I just think that like the Cowboys are doing great. I'm not going to lose. I'm not going 0-5 this week. There's got to be some winners in here. All right, next one.
Starting strong with the Giants. Okay.
Lions at Minnesota. I'm taking Minnesota -7.5. What I saw from Detroit last week. Now this might be like a very public play, but what I saw Detroit do last week made me never want to bet them again. They lost 40-0 to the Bills. I do not know how you do that. You don't even get like a field goal. You get nothing. You just go 0-40. That's what you put up. 0 points. I'm taking Minnesota.
The Texans who lost to the Bills.
The Texans. Well, who lost? Detroit lost 40-0 too.
Who did Detroit play last week?
Who did Detroit play last week?
That was the Texans and the Bills.
Oh my God.
That was Davis Mills getting molested in the rain in Buffalo, the Texans quarterback. You gotta look this up. This could impact.
This could impact it all, but Detroit did not score a goddamn point. Why is my internet going so slow right now?
Did they play the Bears? I feel like they played the Bears.
Did they play the Bears? Well, they lost. They didn't cover for. Oh, they were about to win that game. They almost won that game. Hold on.
It was close in the end, right? They may have scored something.
Where 14-24. Yeah. Still not good. What I see.
So do you want to take the Lions or do you want to take the Texans here? Who are you betting against?
I'm taking Minnesota. The Lions are playing Minnesota?
No, the Texans are the team that lost 40-0. So we could bet against them in a separate bet, is what I'm saying. They lost.
No.
All right, I get it. Minnesota, Detroit. It's a divisional game. What do we know about Minnesota? Not much, because they've been winning weird games. They've been losing weird games. They've been in a bunch of close games in Arizona. I remember they beat Seattle, I believe it was, which was weird, or played a close game. Yeah, it's hard for me to bet on the COVID quarterbacks, as you know. Go back and listen to what I mean by COVID quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins is one of them. He's putting his team in jeopardy. Sorry to our Texas listeners, but it's true. I'm not going to bet on the Vikings, but I can see why you would, because the Lions are terrible. They've always been terrible. Every time I'm a Dolphins fan, I think how rough I have it. I think at least I'm not a Lions fan.
Yeah. But you know what? It almost kind of swayed me. Like maybe I just take the Lions here, because 7.5 points is a lot of points for the Lions. I just want to keep, like, I was so confident in the Lions after seeing them play the last few weeks. I was like, okay, you guys got it. You can do this. I might changed my mind on
Wow.
that one.
Did I change your mind, or what changed there?
Well, it changed my mind that I thought they were didn't score any points last week because I thought they were Houston. They're both terrible fucking teams.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I think we should. Whoever Houston is, I don't know if you're like willing to do this, but whoever Houston is playing, just go to the schedule and add that bet now.
Well, I know who they're playing. They're playing New England, and I think that's why I didn't want to play them because I think it was like 9.5. New England was favored by 9.5. It's a rookie quarterback against another rookie quarterback. It could be a sloppy game. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to be a part of that.
It would be classic Belichick to like withhold some of the playbooks to keep it a close game so you don't win.
I know
your bet there.
It just annoyed me. All right, next one, Philly plus 3.5 in Carolina. I'm taking Philly. I like what they're kind of doing. They were really keeping up with KC. I think this is a good one. I want Philly. I think it'll be a close game. I think this will be a close win for them. I like it. I like what's going on there in Philly. It's not pretty.
What do you? I don't like what's going on in Philly.
I like that they
never
can
liked
score
Jalen
points.
Hurts.
Who
did they play last week? I was watching some.
Did they play Dallas or they played?
That was 2 weeks ago. I was watching the
Eagles
Chiefs. It was the Chiefs, and they scored points with them. Yeah, the Chiefs were in control of that game. Jalen Hurts is not a good passer of the football, and their play calling, they abandon the run. They don't run the football. And I know like the NFL is not one on the ground, but it's how you keep the other defenses off guard, and they're not doing it. And so they're putting Jalen Hurts in a bad situation, who's not a good passer to start with. I told you Jalen Hurts will have his jersey burned in Philadelphia in no time, and that could be starting to happen if they lose this game. I don't like betting on the Eagles. Meanwhile, the Panthers have the second best defense in the NFL. They just traded today for Stephon Gilmore, the Patriots lockdown corner, who has a big salary. So the Panthers are going to pay him to play when he comes back in November, which tells you the Panthers think they're a playoff team. If they're giving up draft picks now for a veteran type of guy, I'm going to go the other way. I like the Panthers.
Oh, man. Really? So are the Panthers good? Because they played a lot of shitty teams. So this is what confuses me, right? You look at all these teams. You look at Denver. Like, oh, Denver, this is a lie.
We played that out last week. We went through that schedule, and it's a lie. And they lost this week. It was a lie.
So are you telling me Carolina's? Yes, they lost. They definitely did because we bet them.
Because you bet them.
Yeah. You're telling me Carolina, you think, is a better team than Philly. You don't think they're equal?
Before the season, I would have said Philly's a better team. Now that we're seeing the Eagles don't know how to call plays or putting Jalen Hurts in bad situations, the Panthers' defense is better than we anticipated. Sam Darnold is better than we anticipated. They don't even need Christian McCaffrey to look decent. Like that Dallas game was a close game. Sam Darnold was scoring touchdowns in that game. So, yeah, and I think if you remember that Monday night game, the Cowboys blew out the Eagles. This is kind of a good one for you. They blew out the Eagles.
I know.
They played the Panthers close the week later. So the Panthers look like the better team if you're just looking at the Cowboys games.
All right. Might have to sway our mutual friend.
Wow.
I'm not confident.
I'm working him this week, folks.
I know. After last week, I was so like defeated. I'm just like, you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm not.
You've never been this open-minded. I don't know. You're changed. You should probably close it now. You've never listened to me this much.
All right. This one we're definitely both going to agree on. Tennessee minus 4.5 in Jacksonville. It's easy, right? The locker room doesn't believe him anymore. It's a fucking mess. Like, I'll take this all day. Easy win.
And sometimes you'd be like, oh, the Jaguars had extra time to prepare because they played that Thursday night game. Well, now you know your head coach was grinding up on some chicks in Ohio while they're supposed to be preparing. So that's like out the window. So, of course, that's such an easy bet. The Titans aren't even good. They lost to a bad team as well.
They're not good, but I think this will be good. This has to be at least one win on the board here.
They have Julio Jones and AJ Brown, and they're like, how classic for both those guys to be out by week 4. Like, of course they're both out by week 4. Like, what did you expect? They're going to play more than 4 weeks together?
Julio's always out, right? He always had something wrong with his foot or something like that. All right, next one. I'm taking the Saints at Washington. Saints are -2 on the road. I don't know what's going on in Washington, but I know Heineke is not the answer there. So I'm going Jameis here. I think they can win this game. Washington.
Why isn't Cam Newton in Washington?
I don't think anybody wants Cam Newton to play for the team. Like if you got a rookie on the team, right? Do you want him? Do you want him there?
I know they're excited about Heineke, but like you're not excited about Heineke. No Washington fan is excited about him.
Are you excited about Heineke?
No. He's got a little spark. If you remember back to the playoffs last year, they played Tampa and Brady in the first round. They almost won. They kept it kind of close, and people are clinging to that. Yeah, that was 10 months ago. That's a long ass time ago. And now we need to live in 2021 facts, and Washington offense isn't getting it done. They have playmakers. Terry McLaurin had that great play down the sideline. They have Antonio Gibson. They have the receiver
Logan Thomas.
Terry McLaurin. Logan Thomas got hurt. Your boy. I don't know. I think Washington's better than they've been playing, so maybe I would vote Washington there. I'm not big on Jameis. I don't know. You can't lose that game at home to the Giants. That bummed me out.
I know. Well, I think this is kind of a bounce back week. Listen, I'm gonna have to reassess this week. I'm taking your notes in consideration here. Maybe text me and the mutual friend to give us some of your notes on these games here, because these are our picks right now. They're locked in.
Well, he can listen to this.
He's never gonna listen to this. Never gonna listen to this damn podcast. That's all I got. So whatever else you got, anything else? Food news? Anything?
No, George's on the Cove. Great spot in La Jolla. That's food news. Check it out. You'll give us a review next week. It'll be good to see your wife in person. I see you enough. I don't need to see you again, but it'll be good to see her. And we'll be back next week to recap another 0-5 week.
And don't forget to go to sportshangover.com and buy the Minister for Hire t-shirt. Jeremy, it's up there right now. You can get it. Swag.
This Saturday,
away.
I'm open. Any weddings you know of?
Hey, we know if Jackie's getting married. I'll pitch it over to you. Yeah, maybe.
Very religious.
We'll see what happens. All right. If we don't get rest of the reviews, hopefully we're back next week.